Good evening. Thank you for joining us for another virtual town hall meeting. Today is Wednesday, May 6th. I want to start off by doing a recap of our numbers or the COVID-19 cases here in Ohio. We're now looking at 21,576 cases in Ohio, with 50 of those cases being here in the county. Now, thank you for all that you've done to help to flatten the curve, but we're not out of the woods. So please continue to do all that you're doing, wearing face covering, going out only for essential businesses, and maintaining physical distance. As you know, the state and many municipalities are gradually lifting restrictions, and the stay home order has now become the stay healthy and safe at home order. Now, many of the businesses are opening. Some are choosing to open, others are out of necessity are opening. And others will soon open. May 12th is going to be a big day as consumer, retail, and services will be allowed to operate. Now we're seeing some of that here in Yellow Springs. Some businesses have started that process of reopening. And we are following suit, at least with some activities, to be supportive of these business activities. So we've opened the John Bryan Center to support some of that added volume to our town. And as we approach May 12th, we would open the additional lots with some restrictions to reduce the density and help support the volume of vehicles that we would take on. I'm encouraged by the decisions that some of our local businesses have made. Some have decided to remain closed through June 1st. But I also recognize that not all business owners are in the position to wait until June to open. As their business is the only source of income, and without it, they're not able to put food on the table for their families. So I encourage you to continue to be kind and try to be understanding of these different perspectives and needs. Now with that, I also want to recognize that there's something happening right here in Yellow Springs today. I've become aware that local business owners with support from various businesses have placed portable bathrooms near in the downtown area. I know that this is a concern for many of our residents. Some see this as a health threat, as an invitation for tourists to come to Yellow Springs. I understand your concerns. I hear you. I also understand the concern of the businesses downtown that are not able to provide a restroom, and this helps with their business. Having this amenity in the downtown area helps their business. And having so many people, as we witnessed last Saturday, and they have a need for restrooms and none are being provided. They have a need for additional trash cans, none are being provided. It creates another public health concern. Now, given that these portable restrooms are on private property, they're not our responsibility. However, we will alert the users of the inherent risk of using the public restrooms, and if they're used by those individuals, they're being used at their own risk. Joining me tonight is Julian Drew, and she will address the public restrooms in greater detail. Before moving on, I want to announce a change to the virtual town hall. Starting May 18th, we will move to hosting one town hall per week, and that would take place on Wednesday nights. Joining me tonight is Fire Chief Colin Altman, Police Chief Brian Carlson, Jillian Drew, Greene County Public Health, and Len Kramer, Yellow Springs Community Foundation. I will now hand over the floor to Fire Chief Colin Altman. Chief.
Thank you, Josue. Excuse me, Miami Township Fire Chief Colin Altman coming to you live from the emergency room at Rampart General Hospital in Los Angeles County. I'm here tonight with Dr. Kelly Brackett, Kevin Stokes, Liza Minnelli, Barry Manilow, and WYSO General Manager Luke Dennis. First thing I want to talk about tonight is, I know there's a lot of concern as we are reopening the state. People are concerned it's going too quickly. And unfortunately, I guess only time is going to tell on that one. But I want to let everyone know that our fire inspection staff are working closely with all the businesses that are opening to make sure that they are, in fact, ready to do so, that they are aware of all the requirements. We're assisting them in reducing the capacity of people who they can have in their business. Excuse me, my cat's going crazy. And also in making sure they're following all the safety requirements that are laid out by the Ohio Department of Health. It is important that everyone understand that if you do go downtown, that the stores that are opening and the ones that are open are in fact safe. Employees are wearing masks. They are cleaning more often than they ever have before. They're washing their hands. They're enforcing social distancing as required by the health orders. The people who are opening need to open, but they also want everyone to be safe, including themselves. So our staff is working closely with them. They are doing a great job getting ready to open. So please, if you do want to go shopping downtown, know that everyone who's open currently and the ones that are opening are safe for you and your family. Sorry. I also want to take this moment to say, well, you're probably wondering why I'm coming to you from the emergency room of a 1970s television show. And that is because when I was a little boy growing up in New Jersey, I used to every Saturday night sit down and watch Emergency. Emergency, if you don't know, was the world's most amazing television show for a 10-year-old boy or girl, whatever you may want. And on that show, I got to see the exploits of paramedic Johnny Gage and Roy DeSoto every week as they saved countless lives, and it inspired me to go into the career that I am today. But one of the things that held them all together was this woman right behind me, Nurse Dixie McCall. And she, for the first time, I think, showed that nurses were, pardon my language here, badasses. And she was an inspiring person to many people. And on this National Nurses Day, I want to give a big shout out to all the nurses that I know and love, and some I just like, from Diane Atkins to Jason Paoletti, from Mandy Vi to John Larch, from Lisa Krieger to Megan Carboni and Donna Reichert, and everyone else. Thank you for everything you do, from emergency rooms to helicopters to ICU to public health to psychiatry to everything. You guys are the glue that holds healthcare together in this country, and we can't thank you enough. But from me and all the people at Miami Township Fire Rescue, thank you so much for all you do. Back to you, Josue.
Thank you so much, Chief, and happy Nurses Day. Police Chief Brian Carlson.
Thanks, Way. Good evening, everyone. Happy Nurses Day. We appreciate your service more than words can express. I'm coming to you from my family room in my favorite easy chair, which was an overpriced lawn chair from Cabela's, but I highly recommend it for anyone that has back issues, orthopedic issues, or like me, just too much mass for their bone size. A couple points of interest tonight that I'd like to express. Next week, we will have more police officers on duty. We will have several on foot downtown throughout the day. We'll be here just to help everyone ease into the opening of more of our establishments in town, which, as we all know, really make up the core of Yellow Springs. So we're here in full support of that. I will also be joining Friday the Chamber and Business Zoom meeting at noon, and I'd like to start a conversation about how we can talk to folks when they enter our establishments, requesting that they wear masks. And I think that overall in Yellow Springs, we'll just continue that spirit of kindness and balance in how we get our messages across. I think we're going to be fine. We have a wonderful community of caring people, and I do ask if anyone can, please join us Tuesday for the additional openings, and come into town, wear your mask, and we will assist any way we can. I'd like to give two shout out thanks. One to Tom's Market for all they've done for the department, and to Karen Current and Current Cuisine and the staff there for what they've done for the department. We really appreciate you and everything that you do. Thanks, everyone. Back to you, Josue.
Thank you, Chief. And now we hear from Jillian Drew. Jillian.
Hi, so my name is Jillian Drew, and I'm a health educator at Greene County Public Health. So just want to say first and foremost, again, it's so amazing to work with your leadership here in Yellow Springs. You guys are doing such an amazing job keeping the community safe, but also the village and the community members are doing such a great job of keeping each other safe. I know that this is a topic that has been kind of what Josue said, like up in the air right now regarding the public bathrooms. And so I just want to give a little bit more insight to that. Public health made the recommendations that the bathrooms stay closed because of the difficulty of maintaining and making sure that they were going to be kept clean and the manpower that that would take, but also because having public bathrooms causes people to congregate. And, as you know, the stay-at-home order is still in effect and we are not supposed to be having gatherings. So, one thing that public health is continuing to work on is the messaging that if you are going to go out, then we do recommend that you stay local. And I know I grew up in Yellow Springs and I know how many people want to flock there on the weekends, especially during the nice weather. And so that's really hard, but, we are continuing to make sure that that messaging stays out there. We are continuing to work cross county with other organizations to make sure that that message is out there. And I know we're not going to be able to make everyone happy, but we are all in this together, and it is a difficult time. And I'd be happy to take more questions later regarding this. So thank you.
Thank you, Jillian. Also joining us tonight is Lynn Kramer, Yellow Springs Community Foundation. Lynn.
Yeah. Thanks, Josue. I'm Lynn Kramer. I'm a member of the Housing Stability Task Force, which was created by the Community Foundation to try and get a handle on housing uncertainty in this during this time. We've been looking at the housing needs, the household needs assessment results, and there are some people with housing issues, and we'd like a little more information, so we've created a couple of more surveys, one for renters and one for homeowners. And there's Facebook posts out there with the links, and there will be links coming up on the websites at the Village and the Community Foundation. So if you see those links, and you should see them if you're a Facebook user, please fill it out, and it'll automatically be sent in. If you need a paper survey, if you don't use Facebook and or the computer, we can get you a paper survey if you call the Community Foundation at 937-767-2655 or mail us at Post Office Box 55, Yellow Springs, Ohio 45387, and we'll get you a survey by mail. So that's, if you have any questions, you can ask me now or email me at len2654@gmail.com. Thanks, everybody. Stay well. Back to you.
Thank you, Len. All right, that concludes our speakers. We will now take questions from the audience. So we welcome your questions. There's several ways you may submit a question. One is through our YouTube channel. There's a chat box on the right-hand side, and you can submit your question there. You may also email your question at the email address that's listed on the video screen that it is on right now. And you may also call in your question at the phone number that is also on the screen. All right, Philip, we're ready for the questions. So we have two that come in already. This one, I believe, will be for Police Chief Carlson. Could we consider having the PD block entrances to the into the village on the weekends? Could we have that discussion? Chief?
Well, I think in short, no. We have an obligation to keep Dayton Street and especially US 68, that's a US route, open. So we would not be able to close off the streets into the village. And I think that the one thing that we should think about now as a whole is, things are opening up. People will be, coming to town. And rather than embrace our fears of that, which I totally understand, believe me. I think that we should embrace the style in which that we gradually and respectfully open up our village. We set the example, and I think that if we continue to do that, we will lead others to responsible behavior in social activity.
Thank you, Chief. Okay, second question. How would the village support businesses to be aware of and compliant with social distancing rules and recommendations? I believe this is for the two of you, Chief, as you're both working on various aspects of informing the businesses on physical distancing and compliance.
Okay. On the fire department side, what we have been doing, one of the requirements that came out for retail reopening from ODH was that their capacity of the store had to be reduced. If you've been to Home Depot in Beaver Creek's a great example. That store could probably hold the entire population of Yellow Springs, but they're limited to 75 people right now. So what ODH has required are that stores have to limit the amount of people they can have inside. That's based on fire code numbers. So our fire inspectors are working closely with the businesses on that. And they are lower capacities. With that, businesses are also required to mark their floors in certain areas. You don't have to see them throughout the whole store, and to post signs reminding people that social distancing is required under the health order. Fire department and Chamber of Commerce are both providing signage to business owners to remind them of, not the business owners, but to remind their customers that social distancing is necessary. And as you travel to stores that are open now, Tom's is a great example, Dollar General, Dino's, you'll see tape marks on the floor telling people where to stand. The stores that will be opening will be doing that as well. So that is, that's under the order. And then if people think it's not happening, or store owners feel that it's not happening in their own place, they can contact public health or law enforcement to help with enforcement. Thank
you, Chief. And Chief Carlson, you're also part of the raising awareness, and you've stepped in when necessary on large crowd days such as last Saturday. What else are we doing?
For our part in this, we're there to obviously keep the peace. And any questions that anyone has, any of the business owners, managers, don't hesitate to contact us. We will have an officer there immediately, and as always, respond in our respectful manner and try to assist. I do have several rolls of duct tape in my cruiser, a measuring tape, and I'm more than happy to come by and help, set some distancing measurements down. Colin's doing a great job with taking care of all that through the fire department, but our primary focus for you will be to keep people at ease and make you feel and allow you to feel safe and continue to conduct your business as it opens.
And Josue, if I could just add real quick, I've seen it firsthand. Chief Carlson has that tape and he's not afraid to use it. So if you need it, call him.
Thank you, Chief. I don't think that tape in the trunk is new. Talking about how we're supporting our businesses, I want to bring on Kat Walter, who's going to talk about finances and classes and workshops that are being coordinated to support our local businesses. Kat?
Hi, Kat Walter with the Yellow Springs Community Foundation, and tomorrow at 1 o'clock, there is a Zoom for local businesses who are interested in talking with some experts about financial health moving forward, such as whether or not to take out loans that are available through the Community Foundation and the Development Corporation, how to figure out how long to make the money last, what kind of cash flow information you need, whether to consider thinking about reopening now or waiting. So a whole variety of questions that will come up. Please, if you're interested in in participating, contact the Community Foundation at yscf@yscf.org. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kat. Again, I want to remind our viewers that we are taking questions, so please submit your questions via YouTube, email, or call them in. Philip, any more questions? Okay. All right, I think it's the weather being so nice outside, I can imagine folks wanting to enjoy the good weather that we're having. Given that we don't have any additional questions, do any of my colleagues want to add anything to the points we already addressed, or is there something else you would like to cover today?
Josue, I have one thing to mention. I've been contacted by a few businesses regarding hand sanitizer. I know our Director of Public Works, Johnny Burns, is working to acquire more sanitizer from the village, and we're doing everything we can to make that happen. That is in short supply, as I'm sure many have found as they go to the stores as well, but we are working on it. We will get back to you and respond with some answers, but just need a little bit of time. Thank you.
Chief, thank you for that reminder. Yes, we are working on a solution to provide a hand sanitizer solution, and we hope to be able to announce a plan at Friday's business meeting at noon. We're doing all that we can. Bottles are in short supply. The solution itself in short supply, but we think we may be able to do something for the Tuesday openings. So stay tuned. If you're a business and you're interested in having access to whatever we provide, we encourage you to tune in on Friday's business meeting at noon. That's being sponsored by the Chamber. I encourage you to reach out to the Chamber for login information. Karen Wintrow would happily provide that. Okay, and with that, we will close out our town hall meeting for tonight. I would remind everyone, I know that this is a trying time, it's difficult times, there's a lot of uncertainty. We are here to help. You've heard all that we're doing, and if there's something that we're missing or you need additional assistance, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're doing all the best that we can with all the resources that we have, and open and exploring other resources that may be out there that could help our community. So with that, I want to say thank you for joining us tonight, and we're thinking of all of you. Have a good night.